Feeds moment.
Yeah, I feel like we're really catching up on this Monday edition of Western Sports Roundup because a lot happened over the weekend and a lot was happening for steer wrestler Stetson Jorgensen. He swept his pool at the San Antonio Stock Show and Rodeo. That's exactly why he is our unbeatable moment today. 3-9 tie in round 1, 4 flat in round 2, 4-1 in round 3. He was already number 5 in the world, and he's going to add another $8,200 to his earnings after just this bracket play alone.
Because of the way San Antonio works, and it's on money one as who your champion will be crowned when it ends on February the 28th, I would say Stetson is making the right steps to get to be that champion in San Antonio. When you win all 3 go-rounds of your bracket, you've got things going your way. But the interesting part of all this, remember the story that we talked about during the National Finals Rodeo? Tore his knee up at the NFR, and it looked like it didn't bother him much there. It sure hadn't bothered him much the last month or two as well.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. He's been having success almost every time he nods his head, it seems like, and I think that's a great point too. He now becomes a front runner in the steer wrestling if he's able to make it through to the finals, because it is the highest earner across the entirety of the San Antonio Stock Show and Rodeo that will walk away with the championship. Yes, the paydays are pretty heavy and pretty weighted in that finals, but if anyone's got a shot, it's him.
Yeah, and he's definitely got a shot because he has obviously advanced on out of his bracket to head to the semifinals. It is the top 4, obviously, that money earners out of your bracket that move to the semifinals. That is your unbeatable feeds a moment. No grain, no problem. Congratulations to Stetson Jorgensen having a good run in San Antonio so far.
So Ty, I said I feel like we're doing a lot of catching up right now because we've had 2 brackets of competition in San Antonio when we left you on Friday of Western Sports Roundup, or since we left you on Friday. So let's catch up now on bracket 1. None were better in the bareback riding than Rocker Steiner. He won $7,431. Had a couple great rides along the way too.
He definitely did. He was second in go round number 1. Of course, he won round number 2, split the round in round number 3. Here's what Rocker had to say with Sierra Spratt.
Well, it was tied at the top here in the bareback riding for Rocker Steiner and Luke Thrash, 87.5. Rocker, we spoke last night. You won the round, and you said you didn't want to disappoint the fans, knowing that you might just be a one and done. It doesn't look like you're even close to being done in your career.
No, there was a time where I, thought, maybe I could just carry on the family legacy and just kind of disappear into the abyss. But I love it too much. I'm young. I'm in my prime right now, and I think I'm only going to get better. I still got a lot to learn with rodeoing and staying consistent in my bareback riding. And so, I love it. I got nothing to go home to. I love being on the road with my friends and winning a lot of money.
Yeah, it definitely seems like it's fun. Luke, you've had some great success, but battled some injuries the last couple seasons. Having this big boost at the start of the season's got to feel good to carry you momentum in.
Oh, yeah, it feels outstanding. Like I said, I've been hurt last year or 2 coming into here, and I finally feel healthy and ready to go.
There was a tie at the top after that round right there. Luke Thrash was also very, very competitive in that bracket. But when we move to the team roping, it's an odd pairing that we saw in San Antonio. Kellen Johnson, Trent Vaught, they got paired up because both of their regular partners did not qualify on to the San Antonio Stock Show and Rodeo, or did not meet the qualifications there, but looks like it's a pairing that is working quite well, Ty.
I would say so, and Katie, you witnessed Trent Vaught right there in Fort Worth win the Fort Worth Stock Show and Rodeo just last weekend, or I guess I should say 2 weekends ago now. As we go to the saddle bronc riding, Roper Kisner was the top money earner out of bracket number 1 that got kicked off in San Antonio. This was such a classy little bronc ride in that first go-round. He won the round, 86 points. That was Generation Pro Rodeo's trench coat, Charlie. He won that round, came back in round 2, was second in that one. You see Lucas Moxa joins him, so does Alan Bohr and Cole Ashbacher. Those are the 4 that advanced on in out of this bracket. Roper had the chance to visit with Sierra.
Well, it was Shea Fournier here today in the saddle bronc riding, 82.5 points. You were our matchup of the night, and I guess they picked right because that was a matchup indeed.
Yes, ma'am. That was an outstanding horse. I mean, it's a big animal, and it tries hard.
Now, you mentioned you didn't have the best of luck in the first 2 rounds, but capitalizing today must feel good, going home with some money in your pocket and gearing up for the next one.
Yes, ma'am. I just got to thank God for all these opportunities. I mean, I'm nothing without him, and yeah, the first 2 were rough, and it was all or nothing today. Either buck off again or win the round.
Well, you win the round indeed. Congratulations today.
Thank you.
Another great round winner from that bracket as well, Shea Fournier in the breakaway roping. How about the 2021 world champion? Sawyer Gilbert is one that, to me, Ty, I've just been looking for her to have another standout season. We know that she has that in her. We know that she has the skills. Maybe 2026 is her year.
And it could be. It started off kind of slow in the first round, but she came back, won second in round number 2. Same story in round number 3. She, along with Katie Williams, the young rookie, Kirby Rawlinson, is advancing. So is Aaron Johnson, thanks to a round win in that bracket. But you're exactly right. The world champ, Sawyer Gilbert, those 2 runs that she made right there in rounds 2 and 3, that looks like the world champion we know from a few years back.
Couldn't agree more. On the tie-down roping end of things, Breshton Minton was so good throughout his set. Round 1, he was 8-6. Round 2, 8-4. Picture of consistency. I talked about it, Ty, even with that stumble right there, 8-6, not bad at all.
And the thing I loved about those first 2 runs, when he did stumble and fall, then he comes back in this run, in round 2, runs the cats to the same spot, same area. The only difference was he didn't stumble and fall down. He was 8-4, 2/10 faster on that one. Here's the little stumble and fall down in round 1, but hey, it didn't bother the NFR qualifier. He moves on with the world champion Tyson Durfee, Chance Webster, and another world champion, Monty Lewis, from back in 2004, is advancing to the semifinals.
Yeah, what a group of contestants right there. The Hurricane, Monty Lewis, he got a round win, and that helped him advance on. In the barrel racing, it was all about Emily Beisel and Lopin Liza, $7,155 for this pair. She talked about how Liza had been fighting an abscess, even in Fort Worth when I visited with her. She wasn't sure if the horse was ready to come back or not. I would say, safe to say, after her time in San Antonio, Liza's looking pretty good.
And I love how you call her Lopin Liza, because I said that during the San Antonio Rodeo when they were up in that bracket. Like, it looks like she's just loping to the first barrel, and that is not the case when they stop the clock after they finish 3 runs. Holy cow. Yeah, Emily won round 1, third in round 2. She won round 3. Wow, her and Liza putting on a show in San Antonio.
Great matchups in the bull riding as well. We actually have co-champions in the bracket. Cody McElroy was 82 points on Generation Speed Test in round number 1. Came back in round number 3 with another great ride, 82.5 on Butler's Homeboy. He liked his matchups and earned $5,321 along the way.
And the thing about that round 3 ride for Cody McElroy, there was only 3 guys to ride in that go round, so he pocketed some ground money there. That definitely helps to get you to advance on. But another guy out of bracket number 1, Cimarron Rucker, definitely the rookie this season. He won the San Antonio qualifier back in November in Uvalde, Texas. Comes back down here, round number 2. He won that one, 87 points. Second in round number 3 on a Butler and Son Rodeo bull. So those 2 guys looking well. Not only Cody, Cimarron, Cullen Telford, Mason Moody as well out of bracket number 1.
So those are all of your qualifiers to the semifinals from round number 1 in San Antonio. Don't forget, bracket 3 kicks off tonight with their round 1 competition. That's coming your way at 8 p.m. Eastern. Going to be yet another exciting bracket at the San Antonio Stock Show and Rodeo. Don't forget, it is the best money earners, or the highest money earners, after 3 rounds of competition that will move on. There is no average in San Antonio, so it doesn't matter if you stub your toe in one of those rounds. If you're able to capitalize on the 2 others, we've seen it time and time again. Many contestants have moved on 2.
You're exactly right. We've seen it happen in the first 2 brackets where maybe somebody kind of stubs their toe in round 1 or 2. Monty Lewis, a prime example. No good in the first 2 rounds. Comes back, wins the 3rd go round in his bracket. Enough to advance on. That's what it's all about in San Antonio. And you carry that money with you all the way to the championship night on February the 28th.
Now, Ty, you talked about it off the start of the show. Some big paydays for team ropers, and maybe for the last time for one of our great team roping events. Our Kubota top story is the win for Tyler Tryon and Jake Long. They won $70,000 at the Lonestar shootout, plus a Hart trailer from Stephenville Trailers. And we have heard this is the last edition of this 2 and a short roping. I know it'll be a tough loss for our team ropers for this one to leave their roster, but so many of these team ropers not only make big paydays or big checks at the pro rodeos, but also supplement that income with these great team roping.
They definitely do, and as you look at it, Tyler Tryon, the 24 Resist All Rookie of the Year, and of course Jake Long, the reigning world champ, in there as well. A lot of these guys, here's the way it works. They rope with their partners throughout the year at the pro rodeos, but then they have their they call their jackpot partners, and maybe it'll be a couple different guys than they rope with at the pro rodeos. That's the example of it, 70,000 in their pocket with those trailers. Tyler, actually, you didn't see it on that screen, but he actually placed a little further down in the average with world champion Jade Corkle, so he pocketed about another $5,000 on top of that 70 that he and Jake Long won. So it was a good day for some of those team ropers.
Yeah, that's a great point, too. I love seeing the different pairings when we hit the jackpot side of things for our team ropers. And they're guys that have roped together a ton throughout their jackpot career, but maybe never nod their head together at the pro rodeos. So that's it for our Kubota top story of the day. But coming up next, we're going to break down what has happened over the weekend at the Dixie National Rodeo. We'll talk those leaders next.
And of course, a little later on in the show, one of the co-champions of the Fort Worth Stock Show and Rodeo in the Bronc riding. He's an Australian, and he will join us on the show to talk all about his win in the season that he's having so far in 2026. It's coming up later on.
Western Sports Roundup is brought to you by Resistol, the official hat of the PRCA, and Cowboys everywhere.
To Western Sports Roundup, and over the weekend, the world lost a great and a wonderful entertainer, a legendary actor by the name of Robert Duvall. Of course, many of you know him, won an Academy Award for Tender Mercies, of course, 7 Oscar nominations for him. And you may be asking, well, why are they talking about this on Western Sports Roundup? Well, I'll share with you, he was a great advocate for our sport of rodeo and the Western way of life. Of course, you saw in the picture, had horses of his own with he and his wife that they enjoyed. How about some great movies? The Godfather, The Natural, Secondhand Lions a few years ago. I love that. But maybe more of us in the Western way of life, the Western industry, know about Lonesome Dove, where he portrayed the one and only Augustus McCrae back in 1989. That TV miniseries was a great one, and I enjoyed it immensely. His wife, Luciana, posted this to the world. He was an Academy Award-winning actor, a director, a storyteller. To me, he was simply everything. She went on to say, for each of his many roles, Bob gave everything to his characters and to the truth of the human spirit they represented. That was, of course, from Bob's wife, Luciana, and, of course, she right by his side along with their family members over the weekend when he passed away.
A 7-decade career at the age of 95, over 100 movies since 1959, 1984 Best Actor Award there. I mean, what a legend, not just in the film industry, but in the Western film industry as well.
I know for me and some of my friends that I'm with all the time, lots of quotes from Lonesome Dove and old Gus and Augustus McCrae. So our thoughts and prayers with the entire family. He passed away on Sunday, as Katie told you, at the age of 95 years old.
Well, we're recapping now the Dixie National in Jackson, Mississippi. They're taking a break, Ty, for a few days. They rodeo just on the weekends and take a little breather throughout the week, pick up some slack competition as well. So looking at the action out of Jackson, Mississippi, there in the Mississippi Coliseum, as you're seeing, this is such a great Southeastern Circuit rodeo. I had the honor of attending this rodeo a few years back. The energy in there is so exciting, and it's because of great competition that they see as well.
It is the biggest rodeo east of the Mississippi, and it's the only tour rodeo, the PRCA, east of the Mississippi. Colin Rowland, I Fly Plane, was his dance partner of the Corco String. That's a National Finals Rodeo bucking horse, by the way. Colin had a big weekend. In fact, he just won Starsville, Mississippi last week as well. And when you look at it, that 86-point ride, he's 4 points ahead of the rest of the field. That's a pretty big gap when you think about it between the first and second place bareback rider. Of course, with another weekend to go into the Dixie National, every bit of it on our Cowboy Channel Plus app.
In the steer wrestling, it was all about Garrett Oates, 3.8 seconds for him. I love this Palomino horse. He's a lot in the box, this horse. Hard to get him to stand still, but he is worth it once they are able to nod his head, and they do such a great job of shepherding this horse along.
This is just go round number 1 for Garrett. They'll compete on 2 steers over there in the steer wrestling there at the Dixie National. He's had a good season as well. Money in Fort Worth just the last couple of weeks. Second, Sandhill Stock Show and Rodeo in Odessa for him. So 3.8 on his first one. Come back and throw another one down like that. That'll look really good for 2 head over there in Jackson, Mississippi.
In the team roping, we're looking at a tie at the top of things. Clint Keller, Morgan Jones, Jay Stettenhorst and Belden Cox, 4.3 seconds for each of those teams.
These guys, these two teams are a full second, a little over a full second ahead of the rest of the field. That's huge in the team rope, and I realize we've only had a couple performances over there, and they'll get quite a bit under their belt later on this week with the rest of the performances. But man, it's looking good for these guys in the team rope.
In the saddle bronc riding, it's all about Bryant Larson, 84.5 points for him on Championship Pro Rodeo's Sundown. This was a wild ride, Ty. Sundown giving him a lot of different looks here, shaking his head from side to side, kind of sun fishing along there. Didn't look like any trouble at all for Bryant Larson.
I'm telling you, he handled the wild ride very well. He's all the way from Utah. He's another one that got him some money in Odessa back there in January, hoping to continue on with a little more money at the Dixie National as we go the tie-down rope. And how about the NFR veteran and the veteran tie-down roper, Hunter Heron, 8-5 for him. How about this, Katie Lucas? We talk about guys being way out in the lead. He's 2 full seconds ahead of the rest of them.
Got a little bit of breathing room here, but when you look at this run, there's just no wasted time. It's not a 7-second run, yes, but every single step of the way, he was just perfect all the way through. Really just looked like a practice pen run for a guy like Hunter Heron. In the barrel racing, Josie Murphy was 13.83 seconds. As you can see, small pattern here, and she had it figured out.
All around cowgirl. She's a heck of a breakaway roper as well. In fact, she won a national high school title just a few years back in the breakaway roping. But oh yeah, she can ride a little palomino around the barrel racing as well. So it's looking good for the all-around cowgirl there.
Dakota Hill leads the way in the bull riding side of things, 84.5 points for him on Brookman Rodeo's Laughing Gas. You can see this kind of a wilder colored bull too. He's a lot of fun to watch, spins all the way through the ride there. Great ride for Dakota Hill.
If he can stay in the money there in Jackson, it's going to be a good couple of weeks for him. He won him a pile of money, almost $5,000 up at Bull Nanza at the Lazy Ian Guthrie, Oklahoma just 2 weekends ago. So Dakota, man, he's looking good for a couple bulls and a couple weeks worth of rodeo action. That's kind of what you like. I mean, if you can just keep chipping away at them week after week, that'll look good come the end of the season. In September, we'll see where Dakota Hill lands.
Yeah, that'll certainly work in the world standings for a guy like Dakota Hill. These are your leaders so far. Reminder, we'll take a few days off here. They've got slack. They kind of take a moment to reset, and then rodeo fans start piling in there a little bit later this week to finish out the Dixie National in Jackson, Mississippi. And you can catch it all on the Cowboy Channel Plus app all weekend long.
Stay with us here on Western Sports Roundup. When we come back, we're going to talk to a co-champion of the Fort Worth Stock Show and Rodeo in the classic event of bronc riding. The Australian Darcy Radel will join us.
You don't just represent your town. You don't just represent your area. You represent a whole country rodeoing over here in the United States. How proud are you to be representing Australia right here in this moment?
I bet I'm not as proud as a little town of Injune, but 400 or 600 people or something there. I bet they're going ballistic right about now.
Lucky enough to come out, splitting the win with Rusty is awesome. And yeah, I don't know. I look at it there. I'm looking at it here now on the replay, and I'm still surprised somehow I managed to ride him for as long as I did. One of my spectacular unplanned dismounts there at the end too. You can see that was, yeah. I don't know if I'd call that fun, but it happened.
Yeah, that was definitely a close call at the end, and very quick after that 8-second whistle is when that dismount happened. But I think you looked so perfect. Your body was in perfect position. You didn't know that you'd kick that stirrup right out to your toe by the way that you were riding, but I think you could see the true power of that bucking horse when you look at your free arm and your head throughout that ride. Just how strong is that horse?
Yeah, that first jump out of the chutes, I probably hesitated just a minute. But it feels like someone's got their hand in the middle of your back, like trying to push it forward and up. It's every jump, it's all there, and the only thing I could think of was to try and stay back and keep gassing. But he's like an outstanding athlete, and it's a credit to, you know, Sparky and the J by J program, that horse. Actually, what I'm very excited to see is Sparky told me that it's bred, so I'm excited to see what, you know, the next line of the horses are to come out of it, like that line there. Obviously, the Shady Jacket and that, all the rest of those bays, the Sparkies are all unbelievable. So yeah, I'm excited for, yeah, keep it rolling.
Darcy, when I watch you guys in these rodeos like this and these performances all year long, I sometimes catch the little things, and I noticed right at the end of that ride, you just talked about it, when you bailed off right there at about 8.5 seconds, when you actually stood back up, I think it was Tyler Kraft, one of the pickup men, I mean, he was right there amongst you. Of course, they were headed to you to come get you after the whistle. He probably didn't know you were going to bail off, but what were your thoughts there? Because I kind of saw your face, like, he almost got you.
Well, in the moment, I had no idea where the pickup men were, so I jumped off, and I figured I was better off well, actually, I didn't really jump off. I was sort of ejected out of there, but I didn't know where they were, so I figured I'd move and get out of their way, and it turns out I just about ran straight into the side of his horse. So, yeah, maybe next time I might need to be a little bit more aware.
Well, thank goodness for great pickup men there at the Fort Worth Stock Show and Rodeo. But you put together not just one, but several great rides in Fort Worth. It's a battle just to get into that finals. Tell me overall about the horsepower that you were matched up against throughout your entire time there in Fort Worth. It took a lot of good ones to get you there.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, starting off on Orange Crush, that's probably one of, if not the biggest horse I've ever been on Jim Gay's. Great horse, been great for a long time, and that's another really powerful horse to get on. And then obviously on to Me Mojo at TJ's, like, it's been to the finals before. I knew it was all there. I actually called Damien about it. All he said was, yeah, have fun. And then matched up with Blessed Assurance of Sparky's again, and it went really good. I was actually very surprised by that ride. I sort of didn't really know where I'd be sitting in it. Yeah, but overall, the horses across the board, from what I watched at Fort Worth, like, not just in my set or like my brackets and the short round, by and large, the horses there were superb. Like, it's a great way to start the season off and see that much horsepower at the first, one of the first big rodeos of the year. So that's really exciting for us as bronc riders.
Darcy, when we look at you coming obviously from Australia, now you're spending a lot of time over here in the States. You went through, you kind of hang your hat now out in West Texas in Snyder, which is where you went to college there at Western Texas College for Coach Greg Rhodes. How important was that process for you coming over from Australia through your college years? Of course, Greg seems to attract a lot of you Australians that come through there, but that's got to be a pretty important step in your career already in the bronc riding.
Yeah, absolutely. Greg sort of always recruited out of Australia. I don't even know if Greg really recruits. It just word of mouth. As started way back with like Glenn O'Neill and Dave Appleton and those guys, and then like the Richardson boys, late 90s, early 2000s, Sam Spreadborough, Brad Pierce, Anglin boys. It's sort of, there's been so many Australians come over here and either go to the finals, make it really close, like that. Yeah, it's sort of the natural place to go into Snyder, and then obviously to get the opportunity to go there and perform at the college level. There was something, I think there was 30-something bucking horses, like practice horses, that Greg had there at the school that we'd get on twice a week. Like, for the first 18 months I was over here, we just got thrown numbers at us and get on twice a week. You'd end up getting on like 5-6 head during the week, and then go to a rodeo and try and get on 3 or 4 over the weekend. And to be able to do that and figure bronc riding out, and then to hopefully try and take it to the next step at the end of this year, that's the goal. But yeah.
The next step is exactly what I think we're seeing in 2026 for you. You first in 2024 were unranked with $28,000 in earnings. Last year, $50,000. You finished 38th in the world. This year, you've already won $23,000, thanks to the over $21,000 that we're seeing you win right there in Fort Worth. Do you really feel like you've taken a step forward in 2026 and have big things to come?
I'd like to think so, but yeah, I just as of right now, just keep rolling with the punches basically, and keep getting on them, and see what happens. I don't know. Rodeo is kind of one of the sports where you can't really plan for anything. All you can do is pay your entry fees and put your saddle on its back and nod your head, and after that, it's all unplanned. So I'm just taking it one step at a time and loving every minute of it.
Well, I'm going to say this, Darcy, after watching you split the win there in Fort Worth with Rusty and riding some great bucking horses there, I can't wait to watch what you've got in store for yourself and for us as fans for this year of 2026. Congratulations on a big win in Fort Worth. I know you're in San Antonio getting ready for tonight's performance for you to kick off this bracket for you, so good luck there, and thanks for joining us here on Western Sports Roundup.
Thanks, Ty and Katie, for having me. I appreciate it.
Hey, I love getting a chance to visit with our up-and-comers in the rodeo world. And speaking of up-and-comers, we had a few of those make their way out of Bracket 2 of the San Antonio Stock Show and Rodeo. We're going to go over those results next on Western Sports Roundup.
The second round comes back second last night. Oh, man, he looks good in San Antonio.
Ty, he finished number 26 in the world last year, but I think it's just a matter of time before he breaks through and qualifies for the National Finals Rodeo. But look at his fellow competitors there. Wasey Shala, fresh off his first NFR qualification in the bareback riding. Cade Berry, another one of those guys, too, that I think is just biding his time until he has his real breakout year. And then veteran Tilden Hooper.
And Tilden Hooper had to have a big one last night. Exactly what he did. He won the go-round. He had to have that to advance on, and he did. Big Will Loomis, we teased him a little bit last week on PFR Edge about forgetting to enter the big rodeo at Fort Worth, but he didn't forget to enter San Antonio. He's there, and oh yeah, he didn't forget how to win either.
Yeah, it looks like he's competing with a vengeance right now. He won the first go-round with a time of 5-2. Yes, that's a little longer than we normally see winning rounds in the steer wrestling, but it was kind of a tough pen of steers that they had to battle through. Will did a great job, also placed in round number 2 with that 4 and 7. He was your bracket champion. Canadian Riley Westhaver in there, Dalton Massey, and Riley Duvall.
Riley Westhaver, I said this on the broadcast last night. We better watch close to that young man from Canada, as you just mentioned, Katie. That boy bulldogs some steers very well in San Antonio, and he's definitely one to watch for this 2026 season.
These boys can team rope some steers, though. James Arvizo and Rance Doyle, they've been really fun to watch throughout both Fort Worth and San Antonio. Sub 4 seconds seems to be their game.
They have the 2 fastest times at the rodeo so far in San Antonio. They won around in their bracket with a 3.7. That's the fastest time of the rodeo. They also won around in their bracket with a 3.8. The second fastest time of the rodeo, and it belongs to this same team right here. Yeah, Rance Doyle knows a little something about roping them fast. Remember, he and his partner last year set the record. I love that Derek Begay and Coulter Todd advance on in this bracket because James kind of grew up underneath Derek Begay out there on the Navajo Nation. So that looks pretty good for these guys. That's the way the team roping looks after 2 brackets.
All right, now take a look at this moment right there. On your right, that's Zeke Thurston giving a pep talk to his little boy Hardy as he's getting ready to get on his sheep.
That was cool because Zeke was in this last bracket, but he was not only riding bucking horses, he was coach as well, getting little Hardy ready for the mutton busting just a couple of nights ago there in San Antonio. But Hardy must have gave Zeke some good pointers as well because he did very well as you would always think from the 4-time world champion in the Bronc riding.
Yeah, they're co-conspirators right there. They're both giving each other pep talks. That might have even been Lucy in there as well. I saw a cute little blondie there too, but wow. Zeke just doing Zeke Thurston things. 85 points on Frontier Rodeos, Mighty Tricking, 87.5 on Calgary Stampedes. Get across Nelly. It all totaled up to be your champion in the bracket. Stetson Wright close behind, Cash Wilson and Riggin Smith. They will all move on in bracket number 2.
In the breakaway roping, you'll see what I'm talking about right here. It's all about the girls' names with J. They seem to be able to advance. The first one we're going to talk about is Josie Connor. She advances as the leader in this bracket. She won the first round, placed in the second round, and then comes back last night in the third round, splits the round 1 and 9 with Jessie Everett.
Oh, what a great pair of runs for her there, or set of runs there on all 3 calves. I was really impressed by her first go-round win because she really pushed her horse through a stop there, Dutch. It was kind of softer in that round, and she just needed to go out and make a good businesswoman run. It's exactly what she did. Look at those J's there, Ty.
That's what I told you. Josie, Jill, Joey, Jessie, they advance in bracket number 2. I guess if your name doesn't start with a J, you might have a tough way to get through San Antonio, but we're going to find that out tonight in bracket number 3 as we go to the tie-down roping. There's Haven Medjid, the world champion from back in 2019. First 2 rounds were great for him. He was second in both of those rounds. Last night, kind of had a calf that ran off down the arena a little bit, didn't want to play the game very well. No money last night, but he was still good enough to lead the bracket with those 2 second-place finishes.
I want to point out that bay horse as well. That's Smoke, and we've really seen that horse grow up in the rodeo world. I remember a few years back, he'd come over from the futurity game, was kind of making his first runs at pro rodeos, and he's very quickly become just a nice, steady horse for Haven Medjid. Really fits a lot of different situations. We saw him in Fort Worth. Now we're seeing him in San Antonio. He can handle the big, loud buildings and helps Haven along.
Cole Clemens won the round last night to advance. Bo Pickett placed in a couple. Bryce Dare and Riley Webb actually won the same amount of money. They both won go-rounds, but the way the tiebreaker works after the winning go-rounds, who tied the fastest calf? Bryce actually tied a calf faster than Riley did, so he advances on.
Yeah, it was a great 7-second run for him. Latricia Duke is so fun to watch on some of these young horses. You remember her horse, Vanilla Wafer. I like to call him the most beautiful horse in rodeo. He is retired now. He's in the stallion barn and living out his next career, but this is Carlos, a maternal brother to Vanilla Wafer.
I'm glad you pointed that out because Latricia said it the other night in her interview. That's a sibling to that great horse that we watched her go to the National Finals Rodeo on 2 years ago. And of course, there's Latricia. There's a San Antonio champion along with a 3-time world champion in Brittany Posey Tanazi, who advances on. Paige Jones, money in every round for her. McKenna Coronado, she actually got the round win last night, won the round last night. One of the fastest runs we've seen, maybe the fastest run I think we've seen so far in San Antonio.
In the bull riding, Trey Benton III got the win in the bracket. A bit of adversity in the middle of his bracket, but started out strong and finished it that way too. Trey's been really fun to watch this year. He told me last year he almost thought about hanging it up. He was injured. He didn't know if he really had the fire anymore. He said he set his gear bag down for about 2 months, didn't even look at it, and then regained that competitive fire that he has always had, and it's good to see him back.
And he said it in Fort Worth with you, and he said it in San Antonio with Sierra Spratt. He's got his family with him, and that's a big push behind him to continue on here in 2026. He, along with Clayton Sellers, advances. Clayton's been a champion in this rodeo from just a couple of years ago. Lane Vaughn, and a former Resistol Rookie of the Year and an NFR qualifier, and T. Parker, those guys advance as well out of bracket number 2.
Hard to believe we're getting kind of to the midway point or closer to it at the San Antonio Stock Show and Rodeo. Bracket 3, round number 1 kicks off tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern, both on the Cowboy Channel and on Cowboy Channel Plus. You can also go back and watch any of these performances that we've talked about along the way as well.
Coming up next, we're going to take you down to San Antonio. Sierra Spratt's been there this entire time. She's going to catch up with a reigning champion of this rodeo who's out tonight in this bracket. All that and more coming up here on Western Sports Roundup.
Have horses for you to get on after injury. They throw you right back to the wolves, and one of my first horses was a big bucking frontier bucking horse, and so yeah, mentally you have to mentally get back to that spot you were 4 or 6 weeks in advance before you had that injury, and yeah, that's the toughest part about this is jumping right back in that arena and picking up where you left off.
One thing, and I know you had great support from all of the other guys. Everyone likes to talk about the camaraderie in the steer wrestling, but I have seen it firsthand that you bareback riders, you are a tight-knit group.
Yeah, us bareback riders, just like the steer wrestlers, we're a small community, but a strong one, and we all have each other's back. And even through that injury, I had friends and people that were my rivals at the time that were there to help me. It's a really cool experience to be able to rodeo with these guys. They're my rivals and my brothers.
Now, we are so excited. You're completely healthy, hopefully drawing some good horses. I mean, we know you got that gold buckle mentality, right? I mean, that's the only goal this year.
Yeah, there's one goal, and it's to leave Las Vegas with gold buckle. So the next step's San Antonio.
Well, we're very excited. And I have one more fun question because I was very entertained this last year's NFR with Questions with Bradley, the segment that you created where you asked random people on the street, in the streets of Las Vegas that had no idea about rodeo, asking them questions about the rodeo. You got to take me back. Why did you come up with the idea? I mean, how did you come up with it?
That idea came from Tilden Hooper and Casey Field. They did it years and years ago, and when we were at the autograph signing at the New York, I believe it was Dean that mentioned it and how funny it was. And I'm like, why don't we bring that back once? So, yeah, we went and asked them about what they thought about Casey Field riding Sister that night and the Tilden Hooper slip on Peanut. It was a good time to go talk to those people and just kind of let them act like they know everything, and we sure enjoyed it.
Well, we enjoyed it too. And when is that coming back? When is season 2 of Questions with Bradley? Can we do it here in San Antonio?
Yeah, we might do it one day here in San Antonio, but definitely in Vegas. That's the best place to do it.
Well, we can't wait to watch you tonight, and the rest of this bracket's going to be kicking off tonight. We are so excited. Thank you so much, Bradley, for everything that you do for this sport and you do out there in the arena.
Thanks, Sierra.
Bradley Miller watching tonight in the Bareback Riding and watching the rest of the season because we're big fans of this guy.
Yeah, safe to say probably some big things to come for Bradley Miller in 2026. He's feeling good. He's looking good. He's got cat eyes tonight. But Ty McClary, I loved him talking about the camaraderie and all the jokes that they have amongst the Bareback riders. And I even remember when he was sitting at home and probably had lots of time on his hands, seeing his comments that he would leave on his fellow Bareback riders' pages. Very encouraging comments, of course. Nothing bad.
Yo, not at all. Not at all. I agree with you, though. The Bareback riders have a lot of fun. You actually got to get behind the scenes a little bit in Fort Worth, I remember, and go back there in the locker room with some of those guys before they were getting ready for the night. So we were all laughing at that as well. So, yeah, the Bareback riders definitely have some fun. You saw the lineup of Bareback riders tonight. It's a pretty good loaded field. A couple young guns in there, including Sage Allen, who won the championship round last year in San Antonio, ended up being our Resistol Rookie of the Year last season. We will give you a little bit more of a preview of what's to come tonight in bracket number 3 from San Antonio when we return. This week, not only on the Cowboy Channel on broadcast, but also on our Cowboy Channel Plus app, the Harris boys, they talk to a legend on their show, Let's Freakin' Rodeo. It's all about Jackie Crawford. Let's give you just a little teaser of what's to come on that.
What hurts us a little bit, or what kind of sways the needle for me, is that you know the difference of, all right, if you pulled up at the end of the year with what you have won making the finals.
Yeah.
Compared to what you get to take home after the finals.
Yeah.
The finals is what makes, that is what makes you have, like, grow something, actually have something at the end of it, right? You know, like, look at your expenditures and your winnings. I mean, yeah, all those are amazing. You're not going to win all of them. They're amazing, and they're keeping us going. And it's keeping it rolling. It makes me dang sure want to go. But what moves the needle is the payout at the finals. Yeah. It's worth getting in the top 15 for you. Like, when you get to run it 30, what is it now per round?
They're almost 37,000.
Yeah, 37,000 a round 10 times, and then a $90,000 average.
Yep.
$90,000 average. You know what I mean? That's the difference of, you know, us rodeoing all year. I still want to go to all those rodeos. I still want to be at those places and win that money, because it is great when you win it. I mean, when you win Houston, like you said, Calgary, you win Fort Worth, all those. But also, at my stage in the game, how much do I do that throughout the year, while our finals, like, you try to get to that pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, and our finals, nothing again, I'm not bashing anybody, but we're talking $6,000 rounds compared to $39,000, where they're trying to regroup their money and be set for the next year. That's the harder part, is that our high money earner this year was $24,000.
Yeah, I saw that.
So that's a big difference of, like, let's go pay the credit cards off, you know what I mean, type of thing. But
you're slowing down. You're not going up and down the road full time, or what's your game plan the next? Let's just say next year. Let's say 2026 right now. What's your game plan?
Okay, so my husband's really structured, and he knows what he's doing, like 6 months from now on a given day, right? I have no idea what I'm doing tomorrow. I know what I want to do. Like, do I still want to go to the rodeos? I want to go to the good rodeos and kind of strategically place it and go kind of what I did last year. I'd said last year I'd go between 40 and 50 rodeos, right? I want a rodeo like Cassie Mowry. I don't know why I can't be that badass, but I want a rodeo like Cassie Mowry.
Who does it?
Right?
I don't have no kids, no
dream,
family,
right?
and I still want a rodeo like Cassie Mowry.
That's
to win a world championship. For real.
That's what I want to do. So that would be the plan.
Some great conversation right there from the legend, Jackie Crawford. That's on Let's Freaking Rodeo. That episode will air on Thursday, but you can always catch it on the Cowboy Channel Plus app and on our YouTube page as well. That is certainly an episode that was enjoyable to listen to and went through a lot of great conversations. But it's time now to wrap up our show with our Veterans Top 3 headlines. Clean Treat Heel advancing animal wellness.
We told you about San Antonio in the first bracket. Stetson Jorgensen swept his bracket, won all 3 go-rounds. Still working on that bum knee that he got at the national finals. Doesn't look too hurt to me.
And it was a big payday for Tyler Tryon and Jake Long at the Lonestar shootout, $70,000 and Hart trailers for them as well. Big congratulations to this team. They headed off to a jackpot and walked away with a lot of money.
And we told you that the movie industry and our Western way of life in the rodeo world lost a legend. Robert Duvall passed away over the weekend at 95 years young. So San Antonio is about to get underway here in just a couple minutes. I'll be right here in the studio with you. Katie's going to go home. I don't take care of her little boy. I don't know what the heck she's going to do, but I'll be here with you to kick off bracket number 3. Here's just a few folks that we're looking forward to.
Hi, I'll be watching you from home as well. Aspen Miller, she's out tonight in the Breakaway. She's a reigning champion out of San Antonio. Martha Angeloni, not only is she a world champion, but the 2022 San Antonio Stock Show champ. JC Hammond's #1 in our Resistol rookie race as well.
Oh, that's a pretty good stacked loaded field of breakaway ropers. How about the barrel race in Haley Kinsel? Not only a world champion on that great horse, Sister, but a 3-time San Antonio champion there inside the Frost Bank Center. So I would say you better watch out for that little duo.
Yeah, you might want to bet on that duo right there in San Antonio tonight. But Caitlin Scott and Haley Gibson-Stillwell, fresh off of their first NFR qualifications, they are also going to be competing tonight in San Antonio. I think top to bottom, the barrel racing is looking really strong this evening.
Yes, it definitely is. And of course, it's all coming your way here in just a little while. We invite you to join us right here on the Cowboy Channel as bracket number 3, go round number 1 is about to get underway from the San Antonio Stock Show and Rodeo. It will continue for the next 3 days before we know who's advancing out of this bracket, joining the others out of the first 2 brackets that are already headed to the semifinals.
So there's your preview. You're now caught up on bracket number 1, bracket number 2. You are ready for bracket 3 of the San Antonio Stock Show and Rodeo. Hope you're ready for another great week as well. He's Ty McClary. I'm Katie Lucas. We so appreciate you joining us for this Monday edition of Western Sports Roundup. We'll be back all week long to bring you all of the news and information that the rodeo and Western world has to share. Have a great Monday night, everyone.